Hello, this is Nevis here. I'm going to show my students how to create a pivot table from the class survey that we just carried out not that long ago. This is part of our eTwinning sustainable project, sustainable classroom project or sustainable school project. So let's have a look at the data that we used. We actually created 19 questions for the classroom for the survey, and we had 13 students that responded in the survey. Now what I did here was I went and removed the name of the students and just left it as a number of a student, and I've got the questions up the top. I wrote the question number in up the top just for understanding and remembering which are the questions. As you can see, we have all this wonderful data here, but we want to be able to use this data in some sort of way. The easiest way is to create a pivot table. What I need to do first of all is I'm going to select the data that I want my pivot table to transform into facts and figures that I can use. So once I've selected my data, I'm not going to worry about selecting the questions. That's something that I've added in just as a reference for the question. Now I'm going to do something really simple. I'm going to go up here to data, and I'm going to go down and look for something called a pivot table. I'm going to click on the pivot table, and the first thing the pivot table shows me is the selected range. So it's telling me I've selected this. Now if for some reason I haven't, I can always click on it and go and select it. It's telling me, do I want to put it in a new sheet? And I will say yes, I want it in a new sheet. So it'll pop up down here somewhere. So I'm just going to click on that, and there it is, pivot table 1. And it's already given me the first one, and it says, okay, so I'm ready to put a pivot table in for you, but what do you want? So I have this navigation bar over here that's the pivot table editor. Now that we're here and we've got pivot table is ready for us, we have the navigation, and as I was just saying a moment ago, so now we could take the suggestions, but we're not going to do that because it's going to throw us off the mark. What we want to do is actually go in and select a row. The row is related to the information in the rows according to the questions in the columns. So I'm going to choose the first one. Now I already know that the first one's going to be all yes. Now I'm just going to make this easier to see, and I'm going to these two boxes, I'm going to do something called wrap the text, so I can see what's inside the boxes, and they both make them a little bit wider. There we go. And now it's just saying yes because that's all it sees, but we're going to tell it to give us the amount. Now I removed the totals, and I'll explain why in a moment. And we're just going to go to the next one, which is values. Oops, sorry, values, yes. Oh, hang on a minute, sorry, I apologize. Going to value, and we're going to go to the do you use recycle bins, because that's exactly what we wanted to count. So there it is there. It's telling us 13 have said yes. Now I want to create a chart. So I go to insert, go down and select chart. And it's already selected a column chart, but I can go in and maybe select a pie chart. And there it is there. So I'm just going to make this a bit smaller and move it up here. Now I don't like that title. I want to change the title. When I click on it, the chart editor goes straight away to customize. I don't want to touch anything in setup. That's fine. I can change the pie chart here, but once I've done that, I don't want to touch anything else because the information, the data range is what I want it to be. So now I go into customize. I go into the pie chart. I want to label the percentage inside here. That's what I'm doing. That's the label, and I'm going to go in and change the color, make it bold, maybe make it a little bit bigger. There we go, 100% of the class. Now the other thing that I want to change is the title. So here I want to just get rid of all of this and just maybe leave the question there. Do you use recycle bins correctly? Sorry, I apologise. Now, if you click out of the white, you'll find that your chart editor has disappeared. Don't panic, just click on the 3 buttons and there it is there. Okay, and then this is the customize section you want. If you want to change the colour of the blue, you can, of the pie chart. Make it, I don't know, let's make it red for argument's sake. You can change the colour of the title as well. So let's change the colour of the title to green. Make it bold. And if it's too small, just make the chart bigger. Okay, now I'm just going to add a column in on the left because I'm going to write the question number later. So this is question 1. We already know that. Now, to make life really easy, all I want to do is I want to copy this exactly. So I'm going to copy it, and I'll tell you why, because it just makes life easier rather than going backwards and forwards. I'm going to do this, and then all I need to do is change the data that it's referring to. So I'm just going to cross these 2 things out so that it's blank. It's like it was at the beginning. And we're going to open this up and add, let's add this question 3 from memory, and the values is question 3. Okay, and there we have. So this pie chart is going to look totally different. Now we go back into insert, chart, and here we go. It's done it immediately. I didn't even have to worry about doing anything. Now I'm just going to move it down a little bit here. Just make it a little bit smaller. And I can just keep going down this pivot table 1 page and creating as many charts as I want. Now this is a chart, but I'm going to leave it now. We can go in and change all that as here we go. I can even edit it from up here, by the way. I don't have to go into the actual title here if I'm happy with that. But I can change the title color. Let's make it purple so it'll stand out. And maybe I might want to do this. I'll just show you how I want to get the maybe percentages. See how they're out here? Maybe I want them in here because I want the chart to stand out. Don't know if we're going to be able to get them all in there. But I go into the pie chart and then I go to slice label. Now it says none, but if I click on value, all of a sudden I can see numbers popping up in there. Let me make them white so I can see them better. And then maybe I think, well, no, I would like the percentages in there. And there we go, we've got percentages. Now what you'll notice is the blue disappeared because this writing is too big and the slice of blue is too small to have this writing in there. So what I can do is change the font size to make it smaller, and all of a sudden I can see the percentages in there. Or if I don't want the percentages because I can see the percentages out here, I might say, well, okay, let's go back and put it to a value and make that number slightly bigger so I can see it, bold, and there we go. So I've got the quantity now. What's happened here is I've got half the class, half of the pie chart is 13. I just realised that now, so I don't want that. And my problem is here is this grand total. So I'm going to get rid of the totals. There we go. All of a sudden, my pie chart is more realistic. Okay, so sorry about that. I wasn't concentrating, but just so that you know that if you have the totals in, I'll just show you again what happens. Totals, it's saying, so the grand total is 13 and then it's dividing the other half of the pie chart. But that's not what I want. I want it 100% of the answers, which was 13 students, and that's what I've got. I can also change, if I go back here, I can change the writing over here as well. Go back to pie chart and I'll do this. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to make it blue. Yes, so it stands out. There we go. Okay, so I've done that. Now I'm going to grab this again, copy it, come down here, paste it, and now I've got exactly the same one, but I'm going to this time include not a pie chart but an actual graph. So let's go in here, chart, and all of a sudden it's done that, but I don't want the pie chart. I want to use a graph this time, and I'm just using the same, but I can change that at any time. But at the moment, just to show you that I can, there we go. And I'm going to go back into the editor. If I click twice, sometimes the editor pops up easily, and I can change change them to red if I want. And I'm going to add in the data labels and make them, they are white actually, I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger. How about that? Text label is fine. Okay, I can go down here and also make this bold and change the color. Okay, there's my question and there's the students. Now I can change that. So that's how easy it is. It's really easy. And then you can use this, so you can create all the graphs you want by just copying the pivot table again, copy, go down here, I'm going to get rid of these here, and I go back to my blank pivot table, I'm going to add another row in, and I can go down and add any one of these, climate action, and then I need to add the values. I have to go back down and have a look for climate action. There we go. Get rid of the grand total. Again, then go here, insert, chart, and it's given me a pie chart immediately. And if I don't like the pie chart, not moving, there we go, let's move it. If I don't like the pie chart, I can turn it into a graph. Just make this a little bit smaller. Okay, and that's it. You can go in and do your labels. Once you have your pie chart, you've really got all your information here, and that's all you really need, your pie chart or your graph. And that's all we need to do. That's all you need to do. And that took a few minutes. You can create as many graphs, pie charts, get your information to create your final presentation from the data from the class survey that we just carried out for our eTwinning project. So thanks for listening and see you soon.